Games Workshop's Basement. Hosted by John Quennell, Danny McDevitt, Val Heffelfinger. I'm Dickie, and it's Grim After Dark.
And Dickie.
Welcome to Grim After Dark, Warhammer 40,000's only late night show for some reason. My name is John. I'm here to misinform and entertain as we talk about the goings-on over the last week in the world of Warhammer. Tonight, Games Workshop kindly gave us a peek at the new Codex Space Marines, and Danny and Dickie are here with their thoughts. We're going to dive into the dank drivel of the internet. Dickie brings back an old favorite Grim game. Whose grunt is it anyway? But before we go on, if you enjoy what you see or what you listen to, you can support us by liking or subscribing wherever it will let you. And if you're able to, throw a couple dollars our way or by becoming a member on YouTube or super chatting the answer to this question. Who has the best grunt? John, Danny, Dickie, or Val? Now let's meet the team. First up, he's a co-host with the co-most. He's our competitive 40K champ all the way from Moscow, Idaho. It's Danny McDevitt. And then he is the beautiful face of everything square-based, a fantasy enthusiast and casual 40K viewer. It's Valerie Heffelfinger. And he's the man behind the curtain. He puts the coach in Canada. It's our producer, Tech Priest Dickie, lazily inserting himself into the intro this week.
Very nice.
Guys, welcome. I have to say, I am much less hyped delivering that intro when I don't have that music blasting in my ear the entire time. I mean, I know this is just a technical note, but it just, I was just screaming into the void. But Val, Danny, Dickie, how's your week?
It's been good.
It's been a week, John, since the last time we recorded.
It sure has. It has been 7 days.
7 days. Not all of them business days, only 5 business days. But yes.
Indeed.
That is true. That is very specific. Chad is asking, Val, are you the face of everything square-based or the square face of everything based?
The square face of everything based. Hashtag square bast.
Yeah, that's fair. Square bast. We're going to go right
Danny,
into
that's not me. Stop typing, you son of a gun.
It's Dickie, very vocal in chat. And if you are able to join us live every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, on our YouTube channel, where Dickie just says awful things that we're going to have to censor later.
Yeah, just wait until you hear all the anti-Semitic stuff that comes later. Just kidding. That's not real. But no, Dickie, I really like that you've embraced kind of this stream of consciousness with the audience.
It's all you. It's all you. It's 100% you.
It's really great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your link with me.
And
a mistake.
Danny, Dickie's right. It's all you. It's your encouragement that frees him up to say whatever he wants in chat on a weekly basis.
I try, Dickie, and I appreciate you taking this example from me and really running with it, much like you would run with scissors.
It's true. Point side.
Hey, he's gotta feel alive somehow.
I get it. I get it.
We all need to do those things.
It's true. We're going to move on to our comment of the week. This week's comment of the week is more like a retraction, but it's still brought to you by our friends at Frontline Gaming. They're open 24/7 at frontlinegaming.org with all your Games Workshop product at a discounted price, or better yet, buy stuff from their secondhand store so they make more cash. Anyway, we have 2 comments, one of which is kind of forcing a retraction for me. The first one says, in the section about the Necron list, the guy defended the 2 good parts of his list and was pretty polite about it. So it didn't really seem like he was shitting on the advice, as you put it. Val, Danny, thoughts on this?
I thought Danny was quite restrained in his analysis of the Necron list. It was enjoyable for me to go over it.
Are we talking about my comments on the Necron list, which I just want to make sure everyone's very clear I was shitting on that list, or are we talking about the guy's advice in the posts? Is that the comment that this guy was making, like we're addressing it towards, like in the actual post where it's like, hey, maybe you could do this stuff, and the guy came back and was like, I don't want to change my list, it's perfect.
I think it's my comments of how he didn't want to change his list because everything that was brought up was pushed back, which, to be fair, I was just using those posts as a jumping off point to talk about the worst kind of feedback where they just want an attaboy. And I don't know why you're losing. Your list is absolutely perfect. Please marry me. Like, that's the kind of feedback people are going for. But, Daddy, you want to say?
John, can you give me a little bit attaboy on my list? Like, I really need it this week, to be honest. Like,
Buddy.
I've been writing my list. I'm not sure. Like, I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm not 100%. Like, what do you think? Can you just say,
So
just give me the tacit, like you did a good job. I'm
in
proud of you,
order
son.
for me to do that, what I'm going to need you to do
Mhm.
is there's an RTT in a couple weeks. So I'm going to need you to
Okay.
send me a 2,000 point Necron list.
Cool.
Maybe write down how you think you would play it. Like, how's it going to
Okay.
win? Write down some
Quick
instructions.
question from the
Yeah.
floor here.
Yeah.
With the balance update, I thought Death Guard got some love.
Oh,
whoa.
They sure did.
And
Somebody.
and you were trying somehow to play them when they were absolute rotting garbage.
I did. I
And now
got
that
very
they're the-
stressed because I couldn't find the models in my garbage disaster of a hobby area.
Uh-huh.
So that put me off of Death Guard until I can tidy. So I just bought a whole bunch of Necrons instead.
Okay. Yeah, just add to the top of the pile. I like that.
Yeah, that is.
Tanner ended up getting second place at that GT that I went to a couple of weeks ago. So
Tanner.
he was playing Death Guard.
Mm.
Does
Shout
he
out
still have a
Tanner.
playtail? An unfortunate, like,
No, he's
Unfortunate hat.
definitely not. Yeah, no, he was playing with a Night Castigator. It's like such a weird list. It was a very
Classic
Tanner
Death
list.
Guard.
Yeah.
Our second comment of the week here came off of a little joke that I made. I want to say that this little red mark beside this person's name says that he's publicly subscribed to us. So I take
nice.
his opinion as trash, because why would you want to be seen as doing that? You can like and subscribe too, and we'll make fun of you as well. But Vermintide 2 is awesome. What the y'all talking about?
So first of all, I'm shocked that I missed any shade thrown at Vermintide last week
Yeah,
and didn't immediately defend it,
It's
because
a very
Vermintide,
throwaway line.
Yeah. You did say that those games were not good. You'd only play them one time.
Mhm.
Which
Oh,
I
sure,
It
Yeah,
is
how about
probably,
Dark
probably
Side?
very true.
I remember there's some Darktide shade, wasn't there? There's
Oh, yeah.
Vermintide, because Vermintide is a classic, and
Yeah.
they're still supporting it.
I think my Dark Tide shade was very subtle, though, because I just made it in the round of hot sauce. How you would try it once and then put it away for a few months and then really go back to it.
Big news out there in video game land: Creative Assembly getting gutted by Sega. Not good.
Mm.
Not good. Not looking good for Warhammer's Total War.
I think,
Oh, that's
honestly,
good.
we live in a world where you can't have Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer Total War exist at the same time. So when they released Total War, they had to get rid of Fantasy. And now that Fantasy is coming back, you have to get rid of Total War.
that
My-
only
That
makes
makes sense. That
My,
makes sense.
my favorite part of all of that is the fact that GW didn't tell Creative Assembly that they were blowing up the old world, and they found out about it in an update meeting long after they signed the contract. So that's funny.
But the important part was they did sign the contract. So
Yes, yes.
they had to pay.
Obviously binding.
That is. But let's get down to some business. It's time for, after a long break, it's time for some state of play. Long bumper time.
Love that shirt.
This weekend, some members of this podcast dissected and reviewed the brand new Codex Space Marines, and one member wrote a compelling and authentic piece of fiction about Irish immigrants in early America. I will leave it to chat to figure out which one is which. But spoiler, and yes, that is the first two paragraphs of that awful story I had to write. Danny, Dickie, you guys got your hands on Codex Space Marines courtesy of Games Workshop.
Yes.
How did that go? Tell us about the book.
But I thought the review was great. I don't think
Yeah.
I read the book. per
Technically,
se.
it's the second codex that's come out for 10th edition.
Mhm.
It has 215 pages.
Jesus.
It
Again, very
contains
specific.
a significant amount of fluff. It has rules in Crusade about writing oaths of moment for your army. So that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Along with some photocopyable pages that you can print out to make your own purity seals, I'm pretty sure. Which is
Please don't
That's
do that,
great.
because the copy we have has my name a surprising amount of times plastered over every page.
It's already done. I'm sorry.
so will the purity seal that I've made.
But Codex Space Marines, you guys talked about Tyranid's first. That was the first 10th edition Codex you guys covered. Moved on to Space Marines now. How does Codex Space Marines compare to the Tyranid release?
Well, Space Marines is obviously like a much more ubiquitous release. Like it's the baseline release of the entire game of 40K. So you kind of have to know about it. The unfortunate part about this is both Dickie and I were very excited about the Tyranid Codex. The Space Marine Codex, like I'm a little bit less jazzed about. It's not one of the armies that I picked out this year that I want to play. So like I've already played them. Most of my army I can't even play because I left it back in Alaska.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I left my Dark Angels back in Alaska because I was like, well, I'm just not going to play these. I'll play other stuff. This will force me to get outside my comfort zone and not play something. So I'm playing Necrons instead.
Just be back, and I'm going to go drop a message to the McDevitts real quick.
Yeah. Anyway,
and he asked me to pick up his army.
You do have I think you have their phone number. Right? Anyway, so but what a great codex, really. A lot of versatile ways to play. It's really great that Gladius, like the original detachment that they came out with, was still maybe the most viable, maybe the best one.
Still even?
Yeah. So yeah, the big change to Oath of Moment has probably got a lot of people who have high toughness targets pretty excited because it lost the to wound reroll portion of that rule. So I
wouldn't worry too much about it. There's like 37 ways to get reroll to wound in the codex, so
there's quite a few. So like there's definitely ways you can still do that stuff, but it's going to cost you additional resources probably.
Boo-hoo.
Which is fine.
It's a very positive review, Dickie. I love that.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm negative. I'm actually super happy with how they're doing codexes in 10th edition. It feels like you can play completely different armies in the edition without having to switch armies, which is really good. It's a good change. I really like it. So, yeah.
Danny, what's your favorite thing from Codex Space Marines? Or what? Yeah, and then I'm going to ask a follow-up question to that too.
Ooh.
My favorite thing about Codex Space Marines is Games Workshop deciding to change an army's like main rule in a codex from the index. So that like being absolutely variable and something that they can change or fix. And I don't know that they needed to change or fix this thing, but it shows that if they see a thing that they think is an issue, that they'll change it in the codex from the electronic document, which I like. I think that shows the ability to make a more balanced game, and that's good.
I can answer that too.
Yeah.
The removal of so many old Marines, I would say, was such a good change.
I have to say my favorite part of your Space Marine Codex review was the in memoriam segment, which a lot of units went away with this codex, taking them down from like 380 data sheets to like 300. For real,
I think they dropped like 20, 25 or 30 data sheets. It's significant.
What's your, and we have some slides talking about it later on here, but kind of what's your takeaway on that? Because I know, like, I think, Danny, I can guess you're just like, get rid of it, but kind of, are you surprised that they got rid of so much at once?
Okay, so I was surprised by some of the choices for the things they decided to get away from. Like the Captain on Bike was one I was kind of surprised that they didn't try and keep.
Sad. Yeah,
but I feel like that's probably going to be a new model in the future. So whenever they release that, they'll get that kind of character back or whatever. So, but yeah, no, I was for it. I mean, I have a lot of these models painted up, unfortunately. So that's kind of a bummer, but ultimately, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Were there any surprises? Like I know they had announced a lot of things going away a month or two back. Were there things that were removed from the book that we didn't see coming?
One that I thought was really weird was the Vanguard veterans without jump packs, which is literally just a way that you can build them in the kit if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is not a data sheet. You can only buy them with jump packs. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of a weird removal.
And in general, do we see consolidation of data sheets? Like I know, like especially with Space Marines, you kind of had in 8th and 9th edition like 5 different captains that were just differently
there's still so many
equipped.
captains. No,
There's
there's
still
like a million.
10 captain data sheets.
So it's still based on the model's equipment,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of
Seems
my
dumb.
worst played games, but one of my funnest games of 9th edition Warhammer was Custodes against Taylor, where I just took nothing but Custodes captains because technically it was legal.
Actually, I'd like to clarify that, Val. There has been some consolidation. All the
Okay.
Primaris characters are no longer, there's not like an apothecary and Primaris apothecary. It's just an
Yeah, it's just
apothecary.
one apothecary.
Interesting.
So that's great. And he can join stuff like the tactical squad if you want to.
So they removed the
Oh.
difference between Primaris and non-Primaris characters.
Yes.
So they're just so Primaris is sort of being removed from rules.
Right. Like the jump pack chaplain, for instance, is just the jump pack chaplain, and he can join any
Any jump pack.
any
unit.
jump pack unit. And the model that they show is a firstborn like jump pack chaplain model, because there's obviously not a Primaris one. So
You gotta
and he can
figure
join
that
Primaris squads.
his religious fervor, if he's rolling with some of the new assault Primaris Marines, you got to know like he's a big time zealot. You
For
know,
sure.
if he's able to lead
Convert
those
them.
boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, little body but big voice.
That's right.
The fourth extra organ is for vocalization and being able to project your voice. That's what chaplains get that no one else does.
Oh, yeah, all right.
But
It's
like
true.
all the normal land speeders gone.
Yeah, Landspeeder Storm's gone, man.
Yeah, the land speeder storm.
Or
Oh.
one
I
of
have-
Oh,
I have like 12 scout bikers in bulk.
no scout
downstairs,
bikers.
but,
Gone.
I'm just gonna, gone.
Scout snipers are gone because they have
Gone.
the new scout squad coming out, which is
Yeah.
very different.
so but in that line of thinking, because the new scouts are just embiggened, would the old scouts still be able to function as those scouts?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see why not.
Interesting.
You just gotta put them on some fight milk.
But you can only have one sniper rifle for every 5 guys, so you couldn't
Yeah,
have
you
a
can't
squad.
have-
It's the
You-
kill team equipment.
Yeah.
The kill team equipment
Yeah.
thing. Same thing
Oh,
happened to the
no.
Air Commandos.
I have enough snipers for 12 scout squads. Whatever will
I guess
do?
under this new Vogue, you could run your scout snipers as eliminators.
Oh, they're
yeah, sure. You could
so
put
much
like
smaller, but
put a couple of them on a 40mm base.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, they're
All
all
you gotta-
40s.
Those
Yeah.
bases are gigantic. Yeah.
Yep. All you
Yeah,
gotta do.
just have like a spotter and a sniper on the base.
Honestly, that would be cool. I'd be totally down with that. That sounds fine.
Yeah.
Alternatively, take all your scout snipers, throw them in the trash.
I almost did that,
In
like with a sprue. Like I had a new on sprue. I was selling a bunch of stuff on eBay, and like I had this sprue of scout snipers. I was like, garbage. Nah, I'll just put it on eBay for $1.
Kim L coming in chat saying there's no biker captains until I get Chaos Lords on discs, jugs, which I don't know why it needs breasts, seekers, and
So much to-
palanquins.
Yeah.
So until we
Juggernaut.
get big tittied Chaos Lords on discs, no biker captains.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Fair.
I you know what? I support the Big Titty Chaos Lord movement.
Yeah. Danny is the wonder bra of chaos support.
We haven't had
He's
a
there.
big titty model review in some time on this show.
It's surprising. Did we get them all?
I doubt
Yeah,
it.
we've seen
That is
them
a
all.
deep well. That is a deep well.
I'm gonna put a note down here to Google big titty.
Yeah, your Reddit's going to be real interesting, John.
That's what anonymous is for, sir. But I did want to say before we move on, if you want a full rundown of everything that's great in Space Marine Codex, or the new Codex Space Marines, check out the review Danny and Dickie did.
Yeah.
It is 49 minutes of condensed amazingness about the new detachments, the big changes.
Yeah,
Thank
and we're
you.
a lot more positive in the
Oh
review.
yeah, and look, I'm not trying to be unpositive about it. I think it's really cool. I think this provides a bunch of really interesting ways for Space Marines to play the game now too. That's different than Gladius.
Though,
So
Danny, I was worried this get a little too positive, so I wanted to get people used to our standard reaction to Space Marines with this next slide here. Where maybe could you describe this one for me?
it says it's an outline of a person. yeah. Anyway, like inside of a Space Marine armor, and says, "Brother Brachiosaurus says, buy the new Codex because the Space Marine's neck is so long that he's like the dinosaur Brachiosaurus."
You're just forcing to make another short. That's all we're doing.
Why do you think that, like, I don't know why, like, I don't know if it's kind of targeted ads.
Picture?
I did not. I found this online. I do a lot of writing and research for the show. I do literally nothing creative. But like, I'm getting so many of these pictures now of random red outlines of Space Marines. And I don't know.
I think it's this specific artist. I think the last one of these that we saw of the Terminator was this artist again getting lit up.
That helmet looks like shit.
It's a bit high up.
It does. It looks really bad. Like
maybe it's just like this is
taking
why.
It off. Yeah.
The reason why there's so many Space Marines, as highlighted in the foreground, who don't wear helmets, is they never buckle up their chin straps. So maybe this guy's just sort of jumping down. His helmet's about to fly off. Boom! Looks like he's got a long neck.
Or maybe just like, you know how your trucker hat, Danny, is sitting high on your head. Maybe they're having their helmet sit high on their head for comfort and style.
Danny does
kind
have
of a high helmet Harry, if you will.
He's got the dome of a Space Marine, that's for sure.
It's fair.
You'll have a
very large noggin.
Yeah, but definitely check out that review the Dickie and Danny have up there. And if you want to go back, they did an amazing rundown of the Tyranid Codex as well. All available on our YouTube channel. And I think Dickie released one of them as a podcast, but not the other, because he doesn't like Space Marines.
Oh shit! I totally
Anyway.
I'll get to it this week. Yeah.
Anyway,
oops.
Much like the digital short that'll rest in Dickie's brain, but let's go around the net. Welcome to Around the Net, the part of the show where we dive deep into the dank drivel the internet provides. And as always, we've got a lot to cover. The first thing we found here is a very accurate drawing of Roboti Ghouliman. And he is asking, or the question is, you're being convicted of murder. Pick a Primarch to be your lawyer, which I think is a fantastic question. And we're going to start this week with Dickie. Dickie, you're being convicted of murder. Pick a Primarch to be your lawyer.
Not the first time. Okay. I'll say Matt. Yeah. Well, let's shit it past. Anyway, Magnus the Red would be my lawyer.
Oh.
Do you want to know why?
He's going to make Prospero great again.
He's a real whiz.
Because there is still a debate. If he did anything wrong, to this day,
there's not a debate.
That's very good. That's very good. I like that.
Zinger.
If anything, he would have been disbarred because he broke eternity.
Yeah, I mean that's hearsay.
No, he literally did it.
Jesus.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with Alferis and Omegon just because I need that legal team.
I was going to say I would go
actually.
Alfarius,
maybe even three.
Because my lawyer Alfarius would also somehow be the judge Alfarius.
Oh.
And also the jury.
Danny,
you're shaking your head
clearly has an answer.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Lorgar, guys. Come on.
Why?
He can convince any 12 people of anything he wants every time. So he's just going to be able to. I mean, after he gives his closing statement, it's over. Like nobody's going to be able to influence that jury to the same level.
But
I also just like the wild card of Angron. Like he just shows up, just like Hulk smashes everybody.
Everybody starts paying attention to him instead. Really, is what's going to happen, and you can escape.
Yeah,
but with
he
Lorgar,
commits like immediately way more murders than I did.
Didn't Lorgar have to have Horus stabbed by a knife to finally convince him? Which, to be fair, strong argument, but not very sustainable.
I'm sorry. So Lorgar had to stab Horus.
Yeah, Horus had to be stabbed with a knife to be fully convinced to go.
I mean, wait, are we taking knife stabbing totally out of like out of the picture here? I don't understand why. I mean, if he can get away with it, I feel like it's fine, right?
What?
Yeah.
Also, the phrasing
Remind me
of this.
to always just have you as my lawyer and never as someone who is counsel against me.
You are being convicted of murder, so I'm gonna just say that it's probably late for a lawyer in this situation, elevating Angron even further to primary counsel.
Yeah, but you may be convicted, but you're not sentenced yet. So I'd want someone who's going to be able to provide like a really good sentencing statement showing that stuff. I may not pick Lorgar at this time, although that does provide some real allegory here. So, I don't know.
I want to see Angron open his armor, pull out a tiny little pair of like square glasses, very delicately put them on his nose,
shaking with rage, just
clear his throat very calmly, and then just murder everyone in the room, including you, before taking his glasses off and putting them back in
into his little briefcase.
Yeah, I was gonna say
made of
have a
skin.
little briefcase. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Which non-Primarchs do you guys think would be good legal representatives?
So anyone, literally anyone else
in 40K or
Malkador?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
The Sige.
Sure. Yeah. The Emperor. It's kind of hard
Emperor
to argue.
himself.
Yeah, the Emperor's kind of hard to say no to, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, do you say are these still humans? Because like I'd pick an Eldrad, my boy.
Literally any.
Oh shit, Eldrad? That's a good call out.
He knows what's going to happen already. If he doesn't take the case,
You're
we're not winning.
Sorry, there's nothing
Can
I
you
can do.
represent me? No, you didn't. No. I looked at the stone.
I rubbed some crystals together, and it doesn't look good.
Dang, not the crystals.
Oh, next up, we have a couple of fun money-saving tips for Codex Space Marines. We have our fun Drake meme saying no to spending $98, which I imagine is Australian, on 5 of the new jump pack intercessors, and instead spend $110 on 10 assault intercessors and old Space Marine jump packs.
Wow.
Danny, what do you think of this hobby hack?
I think your models will look just as fucking bad as when you did it in 5th, 6th, and 7th edition to Tactical Marines, where you dredged up a bunch of old chain swords and they were all the same model and it looked bad, and they were all walking on the ground with jump packs. It's going to look that bad. So if that's what you're shooting for and you want your army to look terrible, go for it. I think this is
best one
a real
I did when I was a young broke teenager with 2nd edition Marines, where they had like the fixed pose, was cutting the gun barrel off so that fist was thing, and then angling the gun down so he was holding a bolt gun, which you just say is a bolt pistol, and then you put a chainsword just sticking up, and you're right, they looked awful.
John.
Yes. Hello.
Look, if you, like I said before, if you want your guys to look like idiots, I mean, this is the hack for you. So, since you were just a young kid, I'm gonna not give you a pass. I still think it looks stupid, and I'm probably gonna tell you that.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Just 3D print some jetpacks.
Wow. My next joke was gonna be how people would just be like, "Ho ho, 3D printer go burr," and then our living embodiment of 3D printing over there in the bottom left.
Living embodiment. Look, I'm just saying, it's a great way to add bits and flair to your models, and you could have a proportional jetpack and jump pack, and not have to spend $100 Aussie dollars, which is basically $100 Canadian dollars. Which
don't kill me.
Really close.
Nuts. Yeah.
Wow. Don't jump down my throat here, boys. But looking at these two the pictures, the actual jump pack intercessors look different than the assault marines.
It's because they're like sculpted with hilarious rocks that they're standing on.
Most people were just like, yeah, these are just assault intercessors with jump packs, but I think there's a lot of differences there.
They only use the running posed ones.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, the actual assault intercessor box has no running pose models. They're all like very like static. Like there's not as much motion as the snap the snap together ones or whatever.
Yeah,
I really like that kit. Also for sale on eBay.
Yeah.
It's a great value, I heard.
What a shield.
$98. You can get mine on eBay for
For 68.
95. Yeah, plus shipping. Moving on, another questionable choice here, but it's pretty cool. We have and please ignore the weird like spoiler or the spelling error here, but the Vergen Combat Patrol box set for $160, which is the Combat Patrol Space Marines, and then the Chad Ultimate Starter set for $210, which has the entire Combat Patrol for Space Marines and Tyranids in there.
I think it has more stuff too.
And terrain.
And the terrain and the rule books and some cool data cards. Why do you think that this pricing is so insane?
I mean, the honest answer?
Yeah.
A crazy person sets the pricing.
I just want there to be like one office in GW at the end of a hallway where they're like, how much do you want to make the Combat Patrol? And he's like, $160.
You okay? Yeah. That might be
what he said, yeah.
Might be how it went.
Sorry. Apparently, when you slam your keyboard a whole bunch, everything just disappears from your screen. Turns out I set the price.
Maybe this is just 4D chess. Maybe this is just 4D chess. Maybe they just want the starter set to just look like a stonking good deal.
All right. Here's a counter to that. I sell one Combat Patrol, I get one person into the game. I sell one Chad Ultimate Starter, I get two people into the game. Which is what I really want to do with all this stuff anyway, right?
Yeah, true. What are some of your guys' best money-saving ideas and tricks for wargaming that don't involve 3D printing?
I don't know that 3D printing is all that cheaper. To be fair, buying used models is big, or buying like my biggest hobby, like ability to buy stuff is actually just buying not just lots of stuff, but like a lot of things. So like old collections, or like because a lot of times people will sell those at like deep discount to retail if you buy them in a big group. So yeah, the upfront cost is more, but like a lot of times you'll see on Facebook people selling 50% of its value, or less. And you're just buying a bunch of stuff. Especially if you want to buy orcs, holy crap! I feel like you could buy fully painted armies of orcs right now for much below retail. There's a lot. Dickie pointed this out to me recently, which was seems like there's a lot of armies and stuff up for sale right now, which is a little disconcerting.
There is a lot of armies up for sale.
Yeah.
Not as good as the one I have up for sale on eBay. But nonetheless, there is lots of stuff out there.
Oh, Jesus.
That's fair. Danny, what about you? What are some of your best money-saving ideas and tricks for your wargaming hobby?
Ask your friends if they have like models. A lot of people just buy stuff and they like sit on it forever, and so you might be able to get a better deal from your friends. Or even like trade stuff. That's another way. If you have something you don't want anymore, doing like a little bit of bartering, either on Facebook or there's that Bartertown website. You can do that kind of stuff on too a lot. Since John didn't say, I can't say 3D printing. I mean, 3D printing is a way that you can get some. No, I'm just playing. No, there's a bunch of different ways that you can definitely source some money. Frontline gaming is a great way for you to.
That's really subtle. Why would you mention that?
Yeah, look at this. It's crazy. You can buy that stuff on Frontline Gaming. Is it really only $210 for both those Combat Patrols, John?
Yeah, dude, I really want to buy that box. No, that's a really good deal.
I bet it's even cheaper there because they sell at a discount.
It is. Yeah, 15% less off of MSRP.
I will say, I'm asking you guys, why are they making that price so dumb? But then looking at this, I'm like, well, I'm going to buy that Ultimate Starter set. That's really good.
Yeah.
Why I will just buy that.
Perceived value, man.
Yeah, perceived value. God, it's so good. Moving on. Their newest Droid Toys in line, and I didn't even make a dick joke because it's one of Danny's favorite people. The newest Droid toy is the Lion and two little Xenos watchers with him. Danny, what's your thoughts on your daddy Dark Angel finally making it to I guess some kind of rubber?
I wish I would have ordered one. That's how I feel about it, because I saw that like it's already sold out everywhere. So
Oh, dang, really?
yeah.
The paint quality on these Joy Toys is nuts. I would
Phenomenal.
I really want to know how the manufacturing process works, because it's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. What are some models that you want to see as Joy Toys?
Um,
I've got so many diverse interests, John. I'd like to see some Eldar Joy Toys. I'd be into that.
Yeah.
Danny, would you also like me to send you a link where you can order one?
Yeah, I would.
Perfect. All right, awesome.
Maybe a Necron one too, John.
Oh, dude, a Necron one would be.
I like artificial stuff.
Because it's a Joy Toy.
Jesus.
Right.
Perfect. I did ask ChatGPT, and it didn't want to relent, because I asked, what are some of the worst things that could have the Warhammer 40,000 license? And it wouldn't tell me that, so I had to use words that weren't terrible. Things like bad idea, something like maybe not a great fit. I did make this little graphic on this neck page here. Maybe Danny, Val, if you guys want to take me through what you're seeing there.
So we have a Warhammer 40,000 branded pistol. We also have a Warhammer 40,000 slot machine game, which probably is already covered by many of the mobile games that they have.
I was going to say,
licensed.
it said a terrible idea would be a Warhammer 40,000 gambling. And then I'm like, well, they already have that mobile game that I stopped playing after putting like $80 into it.
We also have actually, this is a crossover that I think it should be done, which is a crossover with an energy drink manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Malga hat, make Warhammer great again.
Which I almost guarantee someone in Spain already has that hat.
Moga hat? It doesn't work as well.
John, would you wear that hat? Just out of curiosity.
I would, ironically, and you know
Yeah.
I would, because people would be upset at me for wearing it, and I would enjoy that interaction a lot.
When the red hat thing first started, I was like, sick, I'm gonna wear one of those ironic, but almost immediately you couldn't do it.
Bad idea.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. You just can't wear that ironically.
Yeah, and
but luckily
golf
my
company
stars
who makes red hats now.
Luckily my Confederate flag still very ironic. Get lots of compliment on that. The jean jacket.
I saw way more Confederate flags in Canada than I thought I was.
Oh my God.
See on
Really?
my way down, dude. It was wild.
Fucking
Well, hey, Alberta is where I.
To be fair, when Canada says the South will rise again, they're mainly just referring to America. So it gets ruled in.
Yeah.
Crib
The
Shadow
old
Chastain,
convoy guys. Real classic.
MWGA hats, make Warhammer 40K Great Again hats would be worn by people wanting armor faces.
Oh God, it's true, and it makes me upset.
Yeah, so we made up here some pepper spray. We made Warhammer political. We have a gun. We have slots. Of course, all of this not official. We want to thank our friends at Games Workshop for continuing to support us here.
Something I didn't see on here, John,
Yeah.
that would be a terrible idea, and I really think would have a lot of leverage. I mean, we have all these other kind of constitutional issues here. Why not some Warhammer themed birth control? I don't
know if you need that.
I was gonna say, I think Warhammer itself is a form of birth control.
In the grim darkness of the
some
far
circles.
future, there is only ribbed pleasures.
How about a Games Workshop branded 3D printer?
Ooh.
Oh, is that too serious? We have a mega hat on there, but no, that's too far, everybody.
No. I'm into that actually. It comes only with the STLs that it can print. It can only print certain kits.
Yeah, like an
You
ad.
have it like Xerox, where it only works with a certain kind of resin. And if you don't use that resin, it comes up with a little shitty message every time saying that your toner is low.
3D printer, Jesus.
I
think that's more evil than the gun.
Yeah.
I look forward to like the day where they're finally like, we're embracing 3D printing, and then like all of the like single store like managers suddenly have to like farm a back room of just like bubbling resin and
Imagine
like just cranky
Oh.
printers. They're
a
just
single man
Oh.
store
crashing it out.
or a single man store worker who just is trying to level his plate as best as he can. As 10 nerds who are like, "Where's my treason? Like I've been waiting 15 minutes for this."
It's delivery day, John, but the 55-gallon drums of resin that he has to put into his shop make a little bit of extra work.
He's gonna drown himself in that resin.
It's a
It's-
single man store, but they only give him stuff he has to team lift to tease him.
There is maybe nothing sadder than the one person store setup
dude.
that
I gotta
GW
say,
has.
some of my greatest GW memories are going into Games Workshop stores and like the 3 or 4 or 5 people. Like even just in Aberdeen, you had like Steve and you had Dave and you had like I still remember these people and their name. You know what I mean? And just now it's like, oh, it's sad.
Just one sad person. That's right.
One sad person.
That
Well,
was just
two,
a
'cause-
stage in their life that was sad, John. It doesn't make
Yeah.
them a sad person overall.
That's fair. Steve also was an amateur wrestler. True story.
Oh no.
And then there
No,
was
never
one-
mind. I take back what I said before.
And I want to say hi to that one person in our comments from a couple of weeks ago who was like, "Why are you wearing an Aberdeen shirt?" And I figured out that I used to. He went to the Games Workshop store the same time I did in the '90s. That was
Oh, sick.
small
Oh,
world.
well, that's nice.
Nice.
Moving on, my new favorite meme. It's the
so
King
great.
of Queens. What is a Warhammer opinion you have that would make your face look like this, and everyone else put the sword to you?
I've said recently on a podcast that Games Workshop doesn't really make bad games.
Yeah.
And I'd say that was what chat probably looked like for me at that time.
Sure, Danny. What's your opinion that's going to make you smug and others angry?
Oh, John, no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
No, do it.
No.
Put it in chat. Make Dickie say it.
Oh, yeah, good point. Hold on a second.
Dickie, what's your opinion while Dickie's typing?
I believe I said my opinion as drastic as it was. Karn isn't that bad of a guy. I said that on the show, and I'm going to stick with it.
Karn's a goddamn monster.
Yeah, well. Unless.
I believe in at least a small amount of gatekeeping. That frees Dickie.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow, dude,
Wow.
that's messed up.
Wow. I typed that while I was talking. It was impressive, really.
Perfect.
It's really cool how you're able to multitask. like
I'm
that.
not,
Man.
but yeah.
I will.
And Danny, if you
I
wanna move the-
maintain that the hobby is the gatekeeper. Like
For real,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
like genuinely, if you make it to the table with a an assembled, even primed army, like you've
primed.
passed through like many gates of hell to
I
get that
agree.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I get bummed out about the quality of a paint job, I'm like, well, it's not great. But
Right.
then I'm playing Necrons now, so it still is in a way.
Oh, okay. It kept going. That's good.
Yeah. Moving on.
So,
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I think that there could be like some higher painting standards, I guess. But
Oh.
like it's like for big events, but like I think mostly it's pretty good. Battle ready is a pretty good policy.
Speaking about someone who has a lot of work to do to get ready for the next event, I found this guy on a group. This picture here says, "My old army, very sad. Almost all of it is unplayable in 10th. Might get it laid out and procrastinate on the past for a bit. Sad face." And it's a bunch of first edition tanks, most of which are still usable in the current game of Warhammer.
They're not even first edition tanks, John. Those are the
They're
newest
current.
Rhino kit.
Yeah.
This guy, he's procrastinating on the past. This guy's a total virgin.
Yeah. The best part about it is in this post, someone went in and offered to buy all of his models from him for a good price, and he said no.
Well, yeah.
Is this the kind of gatekeeping that Warhammer needs, Danny?
John, I just want you to know that I looked and I peered at these models to see what models he had because I wanted to see which ones he couldn't use.
Yeah.
And literally Every single model that I looked at on this page is usable as, like, he's got jump pack Marines, sure, but like those just assault intercessors with jump packs now, man.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? So yeah, this guy's a dink. I don't know. Like, yeah, John, this is the kind of gatekeeping I want to see.
Perfect.
Yeah, that absolutely.
So second gatekeeper, individual ignorance.
No.
Just took this guy right out of the game. He didn't have to leave the game, but he didn't realize he could still play.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a lot of people want a woe is me sort of scenario where they want to just complain and look how hard done by I am and look at all my models I spent time on 20 years ago. And it's just all stuff they can still use. Dickie, we're going to skip forward to slide 12 here in the interest of time and wanted to really kind of respect your grunting time. This one here is coming up. It says, the fandom of the Necrons is dying. Share if you are a true necrophile. So, Danny, I'm going to ask, where are all my necrophiliacs at?
Dude, I don't know, man. You got one right here next to you. Like, I'm saying, dude. Look,
Share if you're a true necrophile? Really?
I shared it.
Did you share it on Facebook? Because I want to share it now. Like, I want people to know.
Is this unedited? Is this a real thing?
This is unedited. I believe it is a joke, though, to be fair.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Maybe it's a joke. Hopefully it's a joke. But
I
it's
hope
funny.
so.
It's funny. It's a good joke.
If you made this meme and you were 100% serious, seek help and also a dictionary, because that does not mean what you think it does.
Or it might. Or maybe it does.
Or maybe it does.
Also, you know what? If the original was a joke, but if a lot of serious Necron players shared it, not realizing the joke, also a win and tip of the cap, sir.
Danny, I think that's a great merch idea. Is we're being like, I'm a necrophiliac, and we'll just put a picture of a destroyer lord on there.
No, dude, that's perfect.
It's perfect.
I'd wear that shirt.
Wear. Moving on, this one was sent to me by superstar producer of my gosh, I forgot the show name. Nikki D.
Yeah, there you go.
From Signals from the Frontline with Seth and Kicker. Yeah. He sent me this wonderful picture from Vanguard Tactics with Porter absolutely crushed it with the first place win. Of course, we see the beautiful Stephen Box. We see his wonderfully shaped calves. Danny, Val, are you guys worried that his shirt's looking a little loose?
Actually, I was thinking that his biceps looking swole there. He actually had to kind of roll it up a little bit. You can't even see the painting studio logo. Yeah, like you can barely fit in there.
If you're Siege Studios and you think you get a great deal by getting the arm sponsorship cost, but truly he's too muscular for you to make it out. The reason, though, Nikki D,
But counterpoint, John, it's a bigger symbol that they can put on there if the sleeve is appropriately fitted. So maybe they think they're getting a better deal than they are after seeing his bicep in action.
I wonder how much it would cost to sponsor an ass cheek. Let's find out.
There's just not enough room on his shorts usually. They're usually way too small to fit any advertisement on
both buttock.
No, just one buttock. We can't afford two buttocks. But yeah, Vanguard Tactics. We want to sponsor your ass. Right-hand side only. Let us know how much. But the real reason I'm putting this up here, this is something that just totally came up. Nikki wanted to point out this guy here on the far right, now that the picture has gone away, wearing the tournament attire of jorts.
Yeah. I've attended many a tournament with jean shorts.
I wanted to open this up to be a kind of a discussion.
No, you haven't.
I have.
For real?
Why not? What's wrong with jean shorts? I love a good jean, little Tom Sawyer look.
Okay,
Rascally.
Hold on.
They're folded up at the bottom, which is a bit odd.
I straight up own these shorts. Okay, I was wearing them yesterday with the fold. With the fold.
The first thing we have to remember is where our other co-hosts are from. It's important to really kind of internalize that and remember
the Canadian
Canada
tuxedo
has a certain dress code for black tie events, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this is just the summer version of that.
There are 4 40K players in this photo, and there's not a single pair of cargo shorts. This might be the first time that has ever happened.
I want to say here, Mark
in the
Murphy
history
in
of
chat coming in. Beautiful, wonderful member Mark Murphy is coming in chat saying,
Make a wish.
this photo looks like a Make-A-Wish.
Oh no!
So I guess the question here, Daddy Val, who's the Make-A-Wish
You know
participant?
what? No, none of them. They all did great. They're all going
Come
to live
on,
long
which
lives.
one? Which one?
Which one?
Well, it's obviously the guy with no hair.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Not participating.
Nope. Okay, perfect. Moving
Mark
on.
Murphy,
very
though, in my
quickly.
fantasy league, I am matched up with him maybe today, and he's losing. Yep.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
Oh.
let's be nice to him then.
Mhm.
But moving on from this, let's talk about tournament attire. What is everyone's favorite tournament attire? What is like a must wear? What do you avoid for tournaments? Let's talk about clothes, ladies.
well, John, the first thing I do is I put on a dark t-shirt. And the reason that it's dark is because my body loves to sweat.
Dude, I know
so
that's
I'm
a
gonna
lie.
get
I've seen
sweaty,
you
and
in
that's
like
why
a
it's gotta
baby
be a dark
blue
shirt.
on a tournament day.
The thing,
And
I don't know,
then-
but go ahead.
Then cargo shorts. It's like,
That is true.
dude, look, I've got to have utility pockets. You know, you never know when you're going to need to quickly scoop some models and throw them in your shorts and get to the next table. So
That is also true.
Daddy
You
is
do that.
definitely the guy who's just got barbecue sauce on his hands and like dumps
my hands might be sticky.
gooey models into the cargo short
Oh.
to transport them to the next spot.
What's
I gotta say the sports fabric, oddly, I don't know if you guys get this, but I find that they just stink immediately. If it touches my body, the athletic fat, the dry wick material just like hoovers up the stink, and it just smells so bad. I can't wear any of those synthetic fibers. I'm a cotton shirt man all the way.
my favorite for a while, what I did as a psychological power move against my opponents is I wore a fanny pack, a bright yellow fanny pack. Danny, you probably remember this.
I do remember this.
And I kept all of my dice in the fanny pack. And in order to make any rolls, I spread my legs wide, reached deep into the fanny pack. I'm like, let me just grab my dice, and took far too long to pull out like 3 dice and rolled out.
I mean,
There are a few things that I hate more than somebody reaching into a dark place, fumbling around for an inappropriate amount of time,
It wasn't
and then pulling out a small number of dice.
and then
because,
having to
like-
go back in for more.
as someone who's gone to bat for the jorts, I just want to say that Tech Breeze Sticky is not standing up for his fanny pack that he wears as a daily driver. He doesn't leave the home without his fanny pack, and he often will rummage in there deep and darkly.
Do you know my favorite
What it
thing
doesn't have
about
in there.
my favorite thing about fanny packs
A pair of socks.
is where I'm from. Fanny
Bum
means
bag.
vagina.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime anyone says fanny pack, I giggle because I'm a 40-year-old man. Moving on, Dickie, you brought this one here to my attention. It is.
This is great.
See, that's what I'm afraid you're reaching in your fanny pack to get.
Danny, what are we looking at?
This was taken at a fantasy tournament.
Yeah.
So congratulations,
Spanish
fantasy
on
players.
Espanol.
Yeah.
Those
With
dice aren't
some
in Spanish.
dice that appear to have incorrect sides. That one appears to have 3 6s, and the other one at least 2 5s.
Yep.
Not good.
So this is the first thing I thought, which was, what is the utility of a dice that has the same facing over and over again? Like, is the idea that you're quick rolling it and they don't notice that there's 6 6s on it?
Yeah.
Like, because it's pretty
Yeah.
blatantly not, like, to me, like that. I just wonder what the purpose of that dice is.
Maybe
Yeah, would you notice that ever though? Like I would never notice that.
I don't
Someone
think
were
I
rolling
would
it
notice
against me.
They apparently sat there the whole game. Like they just sat. They were there the whole time. I don't know if you rolled them or not, but yeah, like I don't understand what the point of them would be.
You want
No
to
one
double.
knows.
You want to 2 dice cast a spell real fast.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
'Cause
bro,
that
that's
looks like
gonna
a-
get any spell off.
It's
on 2
true.
dice.
It
Sure.
looks like a corner dice pile where you're just grabbing. And the fact that those 3 are off by themselves make them easy picks.
Right.
Is the third one a loaded fixed up
It
dice?
looks like
too?
a normal dice.
Yeah, it looks normal to me. Yeah.
Blocked
That's the
sides.
decoy dice.
The
Yeah.
decoy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
dice cheating, everybody.
That's cheating.
Don't do it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do
In
it.
fantasy.
And if you do it, make it less obvious than having 6 6s on a 6-sided dice.
You're
I
right.
mean,
Do the Boucher.
yeah, do like 6 on one side, 3 on the other. I mean, good.
Or,
Yeah,
or the
like-
Element Games toilet dice as well. I mean, like there's some
Oh,
other
they are
options.
that red dice. I guess our Grim
Just
After
have
Dark
dice
dice
with
are
like
just
no
going to be.
twos, and you have a lot of reroll 1 abilities.
That has happened before from people, but I think I think our Grim After Dark dice are just going to be red dice with white pips because that seems to be the standard for cheaters. And I want people who buy merch
Perfect.
from us to be questioned.
As-
Dickie, sorry.
Oh no! As the purveyor of a Warhammer Fantasy tournament coming up here November 24th to 26th, messaged me to be on the wait list because it's sold out. Everybody.
Oh,
Much like Val,
I
me,
do.
sold out.
I do find it like I did find myself wondering aloud the other day. Is like, man, this feels like a big fantasy tournament, certainly for Ontario. But like, I wonder if in the because there was that period where I remember when we discovered that in Spain there was like the world's largest tournament, which was a team tournament, and it was just like so many. It was more than 1,000. I feel like it was more than 1,000 players. Maybe that's hyperbolic, but it was a lot of people. And it was just happening for year after year after year, but it was in Spanish. So like the English speaking world had no idea that it existed. So I just wonder how many fantasy events are going strong, so strong that someone would be dice cheating at them in Poland and Germany and Spain and all these places.
I will say, excited to have you stream your fantasy tournament right here on the Grim After Dark YouTube channel.
I'm working on Steve. I'm working on the mountain. He's starting to come around. We'll see. We might have live coverage on Mountain Miniatures. We'll see.
Though thinking of that, moving on, I found this on Facebook. Slide 17 here, by the way, Dickie. I was very surprised. I'm going to read this. This is a message from Val Heffelfinger. And it says, somehow it was only 2 years ago that I first took the plunge into fantasy. Val, have you only been playing fantasy for 2 years?
Yeah. Yeah, 2 years.
you went deep though.
Yeah.
Dude, you went so deep, so quick. I have no idea how you're still married or even just had a child with how quickly you went.
Yeah. No, I was. It coincided very strongly with me traveling around, streaming the highest levels of 40K, and the darkest days of 9th edition. So that was definitely what happened.
Danny, are you surprised that Val has, for all he talks about it, are you surprised it's only 2 years?
No, that's how great of a game fantasy is.
So sucks you in, man.
I get it.
Big preview coming up October 14th, 2 p.m. BST. Everybody, look out! Old World's coming.
I can't wait till your heart's broken again.
You're gonna get one model, which is a resin version of an old map.
It's gonna be all of it for sure.
This is at least the trailer. Okay, this is at least minimum trailer.
I'm betting my entire heart on this. So if this doesn't go through, I'm probably never
Can we please set up a live stream of Danny and Val reacting to the things? Because I think that would be short content for years.
Maybe we might have to do it on Grim After Dark because Rob is traveling that weekend, so he may not be able to stream a live react. So perhaps it'll have to be a Grim After Dark live react. But no, there's no way it isn't at least a substantial announcement.
We might get a whole sprue this time as well.
Oh, sprue, maybe an old sprue.
They haven't said things like big announcement yet. That was a lot of hopeful, wishful thinking. So also they have been counting down 40 years of Warhammer. And most of it has been fantasy content. So I mean, they have been perhaps telegraphing the shot.
I will say I do have 2 stamp sets now because of the 40 years of Warhammer. That's true. Do they say be there or be squared? Because I feel they should. That's a great tagline.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 2 years ago that would have been cool, but we're way past that now. Square bass.
Square bass.
Hey guys, wouldn't you want it to be don't be there?
Be square?
Be square. Wouldn't that because you want to be
Be
square
there,
there?
be
There's
square.
you
Be there,
gatekeeping
be
again,
square.
Danny, telling
Yeah,
me not to
there
be
you go.
there for it. Oh my
Danny,
god.
come to the event. Like everyone's coming. It's amazing. I know you're at Thanksgiving.
It's only
so you gotta
Thanksgiving
come.
weekend with everyone's family in real America. Danny,
we just booked Dr. Luke
No,
Waxel.
he's
The
coming.
good doctor is coming from the
Oh,
UK, so we have
buddy.
our second UK attendee
I'm
coming.
so excited.
The
Oh my
good doctor
God.
Luke
Oh my
Blaxel.
gosh. Yeah.
I have
Well,
been
he's
in a
doctor. He
chat.
can
I have
afford
been
to
in
go.
a chat. Okay, this is how far this is how far it's gotten. I've been in a chat recently with Mr. Malorian and Once Bitten 360, trying to get them out. And I'd say that they're wavering. So
Broken them down.
it is
Well,
amazing.
I
Danny
talk to
knows
them
what I'm
every
talking about.
hour on the hour and bully
Danny
them
knows what I'm
on the
talking about.
internet.
Well, speaking of bullying on the internet, Dickie has been watching far too much adult content. It's time for our favorite game. Whose grunt is it anyway?
Wow. And this one is really long.
So long.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
recent.
long.
Right.
You know what? It's
Good one.
worth it.
Good one though. This is a
So
good
I
one.
do love this song so much. Welcome. No one asked for it, but Dickie brought it back. It's a special WTC and Charity Hammer edition of the game that asks. Say the name with me now.
Is it anyway?
Whose grunt is
It's
it anyway?
anyway.
Oh God.
Wow, we did not.
We're
do that
going to
well.
play our panel a selection of
nervous.
clips, and all you have to do is respond with a simple answer.
Yep.
Was this sound taken from a pornographic movie curated by none other than our professional grunt whisperer, Tech Priest Dickie?
Yep.
Or was it lifted from War Games Live, the #1 source of tabletop game streaming and #2 source of awkward grunts?
Also,
Contestants,
thank you for subscribing.
please introduce yourself. Starting in our top left, we have Danny McDevitt.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a well-known grunter. I live in Moscow, Idaho, and I'm ready to play this game. I'm ready to play the hell out of this game, John.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. And then his opponent tonight, introduce yourself, Val Heffelfinger.
Well, as you mentioned, my name is Val Heffelfinger. I live in Toronto, Ontario, and I am
Hey.
known to have at least a long exhale every time I sit down.
Oh, beautiful.
I've heard of
Bordering
that.
on
It's not
grunt.
pretty, folks.
For those of you who don't know how the game is played, we're going to play you a sound clip, and you're going to have to let us know, is it a grunt or is it a grunt? It's going to be a grunt. Is it a grunt from War Games Live or from an adult movie? Dickie has a special preview treat for us. This is not kind of towards your final score, but we're going to play a sound like this.
Shoot up through people's rectums and like severely injure them. Happens more often than you think.
And we're going to ask our panel, is that from an adult movie or is that from a Warhammer 40,000 stream?
That was the legendary Joe himself.
Yeah,
probably.
that was. Yeah, that was that.
Shoot up through people's rectums.
It was just such a perfect clip. I had to take you gotta
Wow.
take that, right?
Happens more often than you'd think.
Yeah.
What's
and this
that
is the
from?
What is the context? Yeah. Do we have a context, Dickie?
Well, that-
Charity Hammer.
That was Charity Hammer. Yeah.
Well, what was he talking about? What was
Yeah.
shooting into people's rectums?
Warhammer.
It was on hour 27 of Joe's live stream, and he just started talking about something about someone's rectum.
Someone's
I don't-
butts. All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he knew that we
All right.
needed content. That's nice.
Yep,
of him.
and
He's a
God bless
consummate
him
pro.
for that,
Thank you.
because we have so
Thanks,
many.
Joe.
We're going to
Yeah, for
start
real.
here this week, and then we flipped a coin
Charity.
before the start of the show. We're going to start with Valerie, who is going to answer first. Is this pornography or a Warhammer stream?
Hit me.
I'm gonna bang you.
That
And then
felt
one
like
more time.
Warhammer stream.
I'm gonna bang you.
Warhammer stream.
Warhammer
Joe.
stream.
Was that Jarek? Was that Ben Jarek?
I'm gonna bang you.
Oh man, yeah, I think so.
Val, that is correct. That is
Oh,
from War Games Live. I
Woo.
don't know the Dickie. Was that Ben Jarek?
he actually got that double right. That was Ben Jarrett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bang you.
Beautiful. Danny,
Job.
we are playing for you. I'm gonna have to switch
Okay.
the screen here. This sound right here, is this pornography or is this a Warhammer stream? And then, just in case you missed that there.
Yeah, can I have it one more time?
Yours is shorter.
John, that's this is from Warhammer stream.
That is from a Warhammer stream. Dickie,
That
do you
could
have
have
any
very easily
information on
been
this
porn.
one? This was the fourth sound.
Yeah, so that was Joe stretching at hour 53, streaming the charity
Fantastic.
stream. Yeah.
Fantastic. Val, are you ready for your second question? Is this pornography or is this a Warhammer stream?
Put his wang gun the other direction. Put his wang gun the other direction.
Put his wang on the other direction. That's a
Put his
Warhammer
wang gun the
stream.
other direction.
Now who so one more time, and I'll see if I can get it twice.
Put his wang gun the other direction.
Oh, I feel like I do recognize that person, but no, I can't name that. I can't name that name. Danny for the steal.
Yo, you don't have to name it. You literally
Yeah,
just
no,
have to
no,
tell me porn or
I
40K.
love it. Who for the steal?
Put his wang gun the other direction.
I can't. The voice sounds familiar.
Very
though, for
familiar.
sure. Yeah.
So porn is what you guys are saying.
Oh! No.
Really?
Warhammer? Warhammer? Was it porn?
Warhammer? No, it's Warhammer.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming you got that right there. Yeah, perfect.
Who was
Yeah.
it?
Who was that? That was 3.
Alex
No, 4,
McDougal.
sorry.
That was
Oh,
Alex McDougal.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
all right.
Yeah,
okay.
now I
Wang
hear
gun
it.
the
Of
other
course.
direction.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
So some context. He was, you know, what exocrine? Has anyone seen the exocrine model
Yeah,
before?
yeah.
He was angling the exocrine penis gun in a different direction. That's
Fantastic. What
Beautiful.
a guy.
Oh, of course. Oh, I
Danny.
wish I got that, man. That was right on the tip of my tongue.
Your the second question here.
Oh, good.
One more time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's Warhammer.
That is Warhammer again.
Wow. You guys are killing it.
Wow. That is the first sound, Dickie. What's the context of this one?
Oh, good.
So I believe this was after a really good role for someone who Joe was supporting. And yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. Val, sound number 3.
Good out of that. That would have been more difficult, I think.
I just decided to go, full master.
Porn.
I just decided to go, full master.
I'm
Sam,
going
porn?
porn. I'm full on porn.
That's right. That is pornography, Val.
Woo!
Great job. And then Danny, your third question.
Deep throating.
What?
Deep throating. Deep throating.
Believe it's someone saying deep throating.
Yeah.
Deep
Thank
throating.
you for that. Thank you for that, John. Well done.
Man, that's tough. I'm.
Deep throating.
I gotta
That's
go
what
with
she
porn,
said.
John.
Going for porn?
Oh.
Deep throating.
That is
Sure.
wargaming.
That's
Yeah,
Wargames
it's Joe. That
5,
was
baby.
Joe.
That was
I know Joe
shit,
saying deep throating in any context.
You must know him a lot better than me then.
Oh yeah.
We did some
All right,
shows together.
we have a couple more here for you. We are going to skip to this guy here. And Val, ball's in your court.
They're good.
Joe. War Games Live.
Good.
Forever.
That's true. That's right. That is Warhammer. That's 7.
Oh, he was just saying that's good, and it just sounded really good. Yes, I got it.
And then Danny, this is your penultimate one here. And
I just
again,
decided to go.
oh, sorry, don't ignore that one there. We're gonna go here.
It's not fair.
Very
This
quick,
isn't the
very
fire
quick.
alarm at Colin's house.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna guess that strange whoop is. I'm gonna go with porn again, John. I'm gonna double down.
That was porn.
Whoa! I
don't
was
know what's
certain that was
happening?
Warhammer.
I don't know. I don't really want to know what's happening.
Ricky, what's the title of the video that's from? Do you know?
I'd rather not say.
Okay, thank you.
All right, last round for both of you guys here. This is for Val.
Just lube it up.
One more time.
Just lube it up.
That's, I think, the same pornographer, and it is porn.
Just lube it up.
It is porn. Danny, sadly, you can win, but you can come within a point, which I think is one of the titles Dickie looked at.
Yep.
With this guy right here.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's Warhammer, John.
That's amazing.
That's porn.
That's porn, baby.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dickie,
You bested
Dickie
me.
with some very difficult ones this week, I have to say.
I wish I got Alex McDougall.
Yeah.
that would've
So
been great.
did many people. Sadly, I think he's taken.
Yeah, me too.
But that's whose grunt is it anyway.
Great
Join
show.
us right after this very long bumper as we answer a couple listener questions or listener statements before we leave for the week.
Love that bumper.
It's so
Such a
good.
one.
It's my best bumper, and it's my laziest one too. This one comes, and it was so bad a question that I hid the name, even though it's from our very own Discord in the Grimcord, which you
I
can
know
join.
exactly who wrote this. And
Oh,
not because I
yes.
was.
Yeah, because you get to be a member of the Grimcord by
True.
joining us at grimafterdark.com and subscribing to our Patreon or our YouTube feed. You get to be a member of the Grimcord and see which terrible person wrote this terrible message.
Yeah. A horrible person.
Horrible. It asks, which Aldari unit needs the submissive and breedable keywords, and why is it the Avatar of Cain?
You fucking weebs. I swear to God, they infiltrate every part of your hobby and they ruin it from the inside out. And this is what's happening here. Everybody knows, John. Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's a terrible question. Next up, I wanted to pull this up. This is a comment from last week's episode. Mr. Chaz Sexington, not only a member, but a public subscriber. He told us we miss Naden to lead into Horster, which
Pretty good.
Very good.
fair play, very good. And also number 2, Bateman, which while also played by Christian Bale, is from American Psycho. So yeah, you guys led me away in the Batman one. And then finally, this one gear, and hopefully, Danny, you can shed some light into this guy. This was a comment from a brand new Codex Space Marines review that you and Dickie put out. Johnny Watkins says, I liked your jokes, but you can keep your pity. I didn't spot any pity in your review.
I was so shocked at that. I just gave
I think
it a
he's
quick
saying
heart.
that maybe we should save our pity for the week.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. And you should save your pity by liking and subscribing to this podcast.
I agree with that.
And leaving a 5-star review.
Thanks for the comment.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for the interaction. That is always a great thing. Mr. Adam Camilleri coming into this episode just in time to hear a bunch of porn grunts. So welcome in.
We did it.
But guys, Dickie, Danny, Val, anything you want to add before we get out of here at the hour 14 mark?
Great show. Whose grunt is it anyway? Just top tier content.
Absolutely.
Brilliant work. Excellent work, Dickie. I know you had to really grind that one out.
Grinding that one out even.
Yeah. It was more of a rubbing.
It's getting harder as the months go by. That's for sure.
Oh, I bet it is.
That's he's been edging himself a long time, so it does take a while to get harder.
I wish we could get him to step back from that edge.
One of those days we're gonna just play you nothing but 40k grunts, and then there'll be no pornography. That'd be a great feature.
Yeah,
I thought that was where it was going this week.
The randomizer was not very random this week.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah. Crypt Shadow, really quickly before we go, says, "Can I suggest getting some audio from hentai?" No, you cannot. But thank you everyone for joining us here in Grim After Dark. You can find all of our socials and way to support us at grimafterdark.com. We're going to be back live next Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern-ish. And if you can't catch us live, check the recordings available 24/7 on YouTube. I don't care if Dickie doesn't like it or Val doesn't like it. I'm going to say it even more. And remember, 24/7, when your life feels like a never-ending siege and things can get any worse, join us here and remember that it's always grim after dark.
It's time to step into the grim darkness where nerds gather talking Warhammer madness. Grim After Dark, the podcast with the hosts John, Danny, and Val, but they're not the most. Claiming to be experts, but it's all a facade. Talking about battles and dice rolls, they're all odd. Trying to sound cool with their Warhammer talk, but I'm here to expose it's all just squawk. Nerds, everywhere I see talking Warhammer this, like it's a decree. But let me tell you, homie, it is all just a game. In the real world, homie, we are not the same. So put down the dice, step out of the dark. It's time to live life, nerd, make your own mark. Grim After Dark, the nerds playground, talking Warhammer this, acting all profound. But when I listen, it's all just a bunch of noise. I love roasting nerds and their stupid ass toys. Stupid ass toys, I wanna grab them, put my hands around the neck, squeeze, Warhammer squeeze, until they can't breathe again. Tell a friend, I'm out here roasting nerds again.